Very good day to the organizer, distinguished guests, as well as fellow audience. Thank you for having me. My name is Jumaliah binti Amran, and I will be presenting my research about an analysis on academic motivation and stress level towards life satisfaction among youth in Sabah. Let us kickstart with the definition of each main terms in this research, as these three terms will be mentioned more as we go deeper into the discussion later. I will start off with academic motivation that defined by Shunk, Mies, and Pintrich in 2014. It is the root of behavior that are related to academic functioning and performance in some way, such as how much effort students put in, how well they control their work, which undertaking they choose to pursue, and how persistent they are when confronted with hurdles. In other words, an individual pursuing in academic will determine their willpower in committing an excellent academic performance based on the influence of internal and external factors. For stress in academic context, Zhang and colleagues define it as student psychological strain in a school environment that depletes the student psychological reserve. Moving on to the definition of life satisfaction, Hall defined life satisfaction is actually an endorsement of or positive attitude toward one's life in overall. Prior to conduct this academic research, several notable studies were found and chosen that acts as a foundation in this study. Previous study found that female students were both motivated intrinsically and extrinsically compared to the male students. Furthermore, it was also revealed that female students have a greater level of stress compared to the male students due to the emotional sensitivity and intensity of feeling in among women that are attributed to the difference. Considering this research attempt to test the role of academic motivation as a moderator, Malkoff and Cassin's study revealed that academic motivation exhibited as a partial moderator between two variables, apart from having the capacities to predict the possibilities in a relationship. Enough about academic motivation. Another literature review was performed and discovered perceived stress and life satisfaction were significant, negatively correlated in Hui and Razman's study. In addition, Haruna, Muhammad, and Sani found that academic stress were shown having a significant relationship with academic motivation among undergraduate students. To complement both findings, Karaman and colleagues also studied that students experience higher level of academic stress and lower life satisfaction were contributed by one's capability in external locus of control. For the problem statement, two sources were dissected and contributed to this current research objective. In 2018, an educational attainment was known as Program for International Student Assessment PISA was conducted by Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development OECD. It was reported that the average life satisfaction among Malaysian students scored 7.04. Although the majority of the students were assuring that they are satisfied with life satisfaction scale, the minority, which are the 14%, have expressed themselves about their life dissatisfaction spoken through the report. Referring back to the breakdown, there are lack of elaboration nor low further explanation about the effect of life dissatisfaction. However, it stated that the students were satisfied with their academic achievement due to the strong support provided by the teachers. Given the justification, it does not explain why the 14% of the students were shown dissatisfaction of their life. Hence, this small research will provide an effort with the intention to correlate the underlying causes of this matter. Upcoming source is regarding Malaysian university students that were experiencing low academic motivation and facing challenges during the recent COVID-19 pandemic. The study was conducted using a qualitative study through semi-structured interview among 24 selected participants. Through the data collection process, the result was classified into four major subordinate themes, which are intrinsic challenges, extrinsic challenges, intrinsic motivations and extrinsic motivations. Although the answer was given subjectively by the participants, researchers were able to consolidate and found major common among the answers for each subordinate theme. Considering the study was conducted quantitatively, it does not represent a considerable amount of the population that represent Malaysian students. Therefore, these findings were essential for this research study to be conducted apart from making it into quantifiable data and findings. For the research methodology, there are three main areas that I will cover, starting with the research materials. Data collection were utilized from the questionnaire that adapted from the three main instruments, which are Academic Motivation Scale College Version, AMSC28, Satisfaction with Life Scale, SWLS, and Perceived Stress Scale 10 items, PSS10. The site chosen for data collection is UMS Online Database. The website comprises several notable online databases that allow the user to navigate countless resources or reading materials on just one main site. Numerous online databases were explored for obtaining references such as EBSCOhost, ProgHash, ScienceDirect, and Scopus. Apart from that, another supplementary reference was also obtained through the official website of several government agencies when it comes to procuring statistical data, as well as acquiring articles from several news articles. Research subjects that partook in this study are a total of 163 university or college students in Sabah. The general eligibility of each respondent must be born and raised in Sabah. Next, the participants shall be between the age of 19 until 24 years old. Additionally, respondent will only have to achieve one of the three specific criteria requirements before proceed to partake in the study. A meticulous and carefully deliberated procedures has been performed during data collection process. The calculation tool that were employed for determining the sample size is G-Power. The selection of this tool is because it is one of the sophisticated software that capable to compute effect sizes along with display the results of power analysis graphically. For the scoring process, IBM Statistical Package for the Social Sciences, SPSS, statistics software were utilized. To compute the data, some functions were executed. All subscales apply to the same function by summing up the scores from the selected items. For the data analysis, the hypothesis testing employ both inferential and descriptive statistical analysis, which are one-way ANOVA, Pearson Correlation, and multiple regression analysis. In other words, this analysis also employed to study the significant relationship among academic motivation, stress level, and life satisfaction instruments used in this research study. Research that employ measuring tools that possess a high reliability and validity is projected to produce a good quality of research finding if were planned with thorough and careful manner, along with appropriate administration and interpretation. We are reaching the result and discussion part. There are a total of 6 results to be ready to be discovered, whereby each result will accompanied by its discussion, respectively. First result discovered youth academic motivation based on gender. There are statistically significant difference according to types of academic motivation based on gender, which highlighted female students have higher tendency of motivation in academic, both intrinsic and extrinsically. Moreover, female students' intrinsic motivation were positively correlated with their intellectual development based on the course grades. Specifically, female students tend to perform better in academic due to their attitude to perceive that the nature of knowledge is something to think about more deeply. Moving on to second findings, there is no statistically significant difference in academic motivation between intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation, and a motivation, nor in general, based on age range. Previous studies also found there are no effect of age towards the academic motivation among students, as there are various of opportunities that available to an individual seek for education access regardless of their chronological or biological ages. For the third findings, it was revealed that there are no statistically significant differences in academic motivation between intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation, and motivation, nor in general based on respondents' year of study. This does not imply that there is no direct connection between a person's year of study and their level of academic drive. Past research findings found that first-year students are more motivated than senior when it comes to intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. The finding can be elaborated further, whereby first-year students usually possess higher academic drive because the study experience in university or college were notably different compared to study experience back in elementary or high school. The experiences may be in the form of flexibility in school attire, choice of classes, social activities, curfews, etc. For the fourth findings, there is no statistically significant difference in academic motivation among Sabahan youth, either specific motivation or in general based on residential area. According to Sink and Sink 2011, residential setting does affect the one's academic motivation, whereby students that live at urban area tend to possess higher level of academic motivation compared to the student at the rural area. This is because students live at the urban area have more privilege, such as access to better coverage of internet connection, enrollment of the private tuition or classes, convenience of the transportation system that enables smooth journey experience to the academic institution. Coming to the fifth finding, we are looking for the correlation of youth academic motivation, stress level, and life satisfaction. Current findings reveal that respondents' academic motivation does not affect greatly towards their stress level. Besides that, life satisfaction of youth in Sabah were influenced subtly by their motivation in academic wise. On top of that, life satisfaction of youth in Sabah has a moderate negative relationship with their perceived stress level. It was proven that academic motivation may moderate life satisfaction positively despite the correlation was subtle, as it may influence intrinsic and extrinsically. As a closure, both academic motivation and perceived stress level variables show there is significant relationship with the life satisfaction variable. Last but not least, the sixth result is aimed to determine whether academic motivation is suitable to be a moderator in this research study. Academic motivation variables display the presence of significant relationship but produce low variance index. Academic motivation can be strongly and partially or weakly moderated to other variables in a research study. Current study findings exhibited partial moderator between the relationship of stress level and life satisfaction. Perceived stress level was considered as the suitable moderator as the significant level was lower than the academic motivation variable. Furthermore, the presence of perceived stress level contributed to the significance level of the academic motivation and life satisfaction variables if were tested separately or simultaneously. To achieve a strong moderator role, the current study shall take note of any research bias that will adversely impact the findings. To conclude, this study is all about discovering academic motivations, perceived stress level, and life satisfaction among the youth in Sabah. As current findings were insufficient to support and represent the youth in Sabah, there is a need for an extensive study to be considered. An attempt by collaborating with the local authorities also shall be looked upon positively, so that this current study can be the starting point for them to learn about Sabahan youth academic priorities, along with providing enormous support for the youth to further their studies. I believe that is all from me. Thank you for your attention.